you know, tell us about this background in track, because I know, seeing like you're the track athlete here at Sacred Heart University, man. Where do you find that first love for the track?
It's actually crazy because like in high school, not even high school, like elementary school, I was always a basketball guy. Like if you would have asked me what I was gonna be, like when I was like 8 or 9 years old, I always wanted to say either NBA or Division I basketball player. That was always my dream. Track didn't really come into the play until like basically senior year. I started sophomore year, and then my mom and my dad told me like, look, do track because it'll help you with basketball. So I was doing basketball and track during the springtime, and then I was like, okay, I'm pretty good at this. I started off as a sprinter, and then junior year happened, and then I was really looking forward to it, and then COVID happened, so it was like it took away my track season. So it was like, all right, I'm probably gonna forget about this. It just worry about getting through COVID and then eventually going back to basketball. But then my senior year happened, and then I was like, you know what, it's my senior year. I'll go. Let me go out with a good fashion and do track. Then track happens. I start jumping, and then it's like I start getting good, and then I start getting into certain meets, and I was like, then states over. I'm in states. I'm seeing all these great athletes performing. I was like, wait, I really like this. I really like this environment. Like this is cool. Then Sacred Heart. I was always interested in going to Sacred Heart, not just off of sports, but just for journalism aspect. And then their track program was open. And I was like, you know what? Why not? Like, let's do. I always wanted to be a Division I athlete, so it's like, why not? Um, and it made sense because there was some schools I wanted to go for basketball, but they just didn't have the journalism part there. So I was like, you know, why not? And then I came here, Sacred Heart, and entered the program with great coaches and great teammates. And now I'm in a great environment, man. My second year now, and continue to make strides with this. So I'm great to be here, man. For real, for real.
Awesome, man. I wonder what was like the other school choices. Like, what was the other choices you had besides Sacred Heart?
So besides, it's actually crazy. So it's actually, besides Sacred Heart, I was actually going to go down the road and go to Quinnipiac because.
Mm,
But what stopped me from going there was two things. Was first they didn't have a men's track program. That was first. Didn't have any interest in there for basketball, and then um, the journalism they had a program for in California that was like real. I was like basically the only reason why I wanted to go there because they had a program for sports journalists that they could go to California, and I was like, what? I want to go to this. Like who doesn't want to go to this? But then I talked to some people who now work for ESPN, and it was like, listen, like it's a great program, but listen, Sacred Heart, you're truly gonna get a great, meaningful experience that gonna is gonna pay off in the long run. So I was like, you know what, they're right. I can't just think in the short term. I gotta think for the long term. So I was like, you know what, Sacred Heart is definitely the best for me. Quinnipiac, Monmouth University in New Jersey was definitely an early favorite just from the basketball standpoint. But for the most part, I knew for a long time that Sacred Heart was definitely going to be the spot for me. So